Ladies and gentlemen, welcome inside the StreamYard studios once again for another exciting interview. And of course, it has been quite some time. It has been a while since we got a chance to go live on the YouTube side of things. And in case you guys don't know, I am your host, Jake, for, of course, the Fighting Out interviews. And in case you guys don't know what the Fighting Out is, we are a page that shows love to women to all of combat sports, whether it be in MMA, Muay Thai, kickboxing, and of course, our special guest is a professional boxer. Today we have somebody who I'm very excited for. Of course, if you guys go follow me on Instagram, which by the way, you guys do need to, and make sure you guys get your merchandise at the Fighting Now on Instagram. We pretty much got a chance to talk whenever I got a chance to try to find some interviews going, and of course, no hesitation, she reached out, and I'm very excited because this week, and of course, this is a special occasion. We get somebody who is phenomenal, who is incredible, and of course, has a lot in store for her in the year of 2024. So, without further ado, no hesitation, let's not waste any time. Please help me welcome our special guest, Miss Stephanie Hahn.
Hello. Hi, Jake.
Hello,
Thanks for having me.
hello, how are you doing?
I'm doing good. Doing good.
Um,
Thank you.
Absolutely. So, first of all, I want to say thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule. It's an honor to get a chance to have you here. So, let's go ahead and get things started, shall we?
Yes, let's do it.
All right, so let's go ahead and get things started. So we all get inspired by what we do best. Me when it comes to interviewing, you when it comes to fighting. So what inspired you to start fighting?
I wasn't inspired. I just had no choice. My dad, he made all of my siblings, including me, we had to do martial arts. And then with martial arts, we got into boxing. I started boxing when I was 10.
Not to mention that, and of course, you can correct me, how I say this, but of course, you train with La Cruz, correct?
No, I trained
Uh,
with Louis Burke in Las
Lu- Lu-
Cruces.
Okay, well, you pretty
No,
much
it's
train with.
okay.
Well, of course, I should have written down very correctly, but of course, you train with them. Of course, talk about how much they've helped you ever since you started training with them.
So Louis Burke, he was my brother and my sister's coach, my older siblings, and he's a great coach. He's had a lot of great fighters. I don't know if you know who Austin Trout is. He's a
Mhm.
professional boxer, and now he's transitioned to bare knuckles. But he's Louis is a great coach, so I'm glad to be training with him, and I'm excited to see what the future holds.
I'm very excited to see what the future holds for you. And of course, another thing too is that as fighters, there's a lot of great things that we get a chance to do as fighters. And of course, another thing too is the training part. I mean, there are some great things that we love about training, but of course, there's always those times where it can be the most difficult part of our days. So, from your perspective, what has been the hardest part about training?
For me, it's just I'm so busy because I also work. I'm also a mother, so just trying to find the time. And I do find the time. I sacrifice the time to train, but at the end of the day, I'm so exhausted, so
I say
exhausted.
I say so. And by the way, I don't know if you ever get the respect that you deserve, as not only just as a mother, but of course as a fighter. But I definitely do appreciate and admire what you do, not only for what you do in between the ropes, and of course outside of the ring as well. It's never easy to be both a mom and a fighter for sure, right?
No, it's not easy, but it's okay. I think it makes me a stronger person. It makes me better. So I have something to fight for. So I wouldn't change being a mother for anything.
Not to mention that, of course, you have your own little fan for sure, and of course, I mean, all of our children are definitely our number one supporters in life, especially when it comes to boxing.
Yes, yes. I have two babies. My son is 8 and my daughter's 6, and they're my biggest fans. So I'm very, very grateful to have them and to be an example for them.
I really love that for sure. And of course, shout out to you and of course your amazing family that you got going on for sure. Now, at the end of the day, not to mention that, of course, you said, you have work, you have a lot of these things, but yet at the end of the day, we always have that one thing that we go to, whether it be in music, whether it be in therapy, yoga, whatever it may be. So, do you ever have that one go to after those long days that you always end up having?
If I end up having any free time, I take advantage and I sleep. So rest is what I look forward to. There's some days when I'm working and I'm training and I get maybe like 5 hours of sleep. So I'm so tired. So if I get a day of rest, then I will definitely take advantage and I'll sleep. Sleep,
Of course.
sleep.
I mean, hey, sleep is everybody's favorite thing. Of course, my favorite thing too. So I don't blame you. Especially, I don't even see how you do it. I mean, I can imagine how much energy it takes out of you from not only working to training, of course, take care of your kids. I mean, how do you do it?
Well, thank goodness I have a good family and a support system because if I didn't have them, I don't think I'd be able to. But they all support me, they all help me. They love my kids. We're a very close family. Me and my brothers and sisters. We all have kids of our own, so we're just there for each other.
And of course, not to mention that, and of course, you talked about it, at the start of the interview, is that you pretty much got into the sport because of your dad. And of course, family helps us so much when it comes to sports. And there's a lot of great things about the sport that we all know and love. So, from your point of view, what has been the best part about boxing that makes you want to keep on continuing doing it?
Um, for sure, family is a big part of it. I had quit boxing for about 10 years. I was focusing on my family and I was focusing on my career, and I lost the passion for it. I got burnt out because I have been training my whole life. And this time I came back to boxing a couple of years ago. And now I know it's not because I'm pressured by my family, but it's because I truly want it. But and I'm telling you, my brothers and my sisters, we all sacrifice a lot. They help me, they train with me, they spar with me. So for me, it's also motivating because I know that if I'm successful, which I believe I can be a world champion, it's also their success. So my success is their success. And I'm very, very fortunate to have an amazing dad, and he supported me through all this. So he's a big motivator, and I really, really want to make him proud. And hopefully, he could see me be a world champion one day.
And I think, just by get a chance to see how far you've grown ever since I got a chance to meet you, I think you're definitely going to be a world champion someday
Thank
because
you.
ever since I met you, I see the will to fight, the will to drive, everything that you're doing. And, I think that you and so many fighters don't get enough credit where credit's due. So I definitely see you becoming a world champion in the future for sure because already you're a champion at life.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Of
Thank you.
course, you're very welcome. You're very welcome. Of course, another thing too, yeah, this is something I've always wanted to get a chance to talk about is that not only does the sport make a huge impact on us in a physical way, but of course it makes it impact us on a mental way. And I got to get a chance to ask you is that how much has the sport made an impact on you mentally?
Um, it's made me who the person I am today. I'm a competitor, so I grew up martial arts, boxing. In high school, I wrestled. So I grew up doing contact sports, but the
Okay.
mentality you got to have, and for me, I've always been a winner. I don't like losing. So I'll put in the extra work because I know what it takes to be a champion. Um, that's definitely transferred into my real life, my career. I'm a police officer, and to be a police officer, you have to be strong-minded. You cannot be weak-minded. You never know what's going to happen. It's always the unknown when you go out on patrol. So for me, I have to have a strong mindset. Um, because at the end of the day, I want to make it home to my family. So that growing up with sports, um, helping me be the person I am. I'm a strong-minded person, and it's definitely made me a better cop.
And not to mention that, of course, and I want to get a chance to talk to our viewers about this, is that, for anybody who's struggling with, depression, anxiety, whatever it is they're struggling with, first of all, please go get the help they need. And second of all, I think Stephanie and I can pretty much agree is that when it comes to the sport, I mean, we all need something to do to distract our minds because our mind is such a very powerful thing. So it doesn't matter where you are at right now in life. Just go be a part of it. Kickboxing, boxing, Muay Thai, whatever event you want to get a chance to do, just go walk through those gym doors. And if you're not being loved by your own family, trust me when I tell you, you'll be loved by the gym family because they will treat you more of a family than your own. I cannot stress enough. Go be a part of it. Even if you don't want to fight, you can still train and get a chance to learn self defense. You learn something new because your mind, I can't stress enough, is a very big distraction to say the least. I mean, am I right here, Stephanie?
Oh, I totally agree with you. I know that depression is very real. I've been depressed a couple times in my life. My mom, she had depression. She was also bipolar, so I understand mental health. Um, but from experience and from what I've seen other people go through, yes, you can't allow the depression to consume you because if you do, then it's just going to overtake you and you're not going to grow from it. You have to get out of it. You have to go out of the house, clean the house, start small, step by step, and then and exercise, do something, and then eventually it's going to get better. It's going to get you're going to gain momentum and you're going to get out of whatever you're feeling. But you have to do something. You can't just stay still and do nothing. You have to go out and live and stay positive because again, if you don't do anything, the depression is just going to take over you.
And not to mention that if you're one of those who pretty much feels like playing a video game or staying at the house is going to do everything, stay in one room is going to do anything. No, what it's going to do is that everything that you're doing by yourself is all going to get to your head, and it's going to make you pretty much worse than you've ever been before. Trust me, from experience, I have dealt with that, and as of late, I've taken medication for it. So trust me when I tell you, please go and do something incredible, such as combat sports. You can be either a fighter or you can just be an interviewer. Hell, if you want to go and make hot dogs for the fighters or whatever it is you want to do, trust me when I tell you, it will definitely be good for you. Not only just for good for you, but you also get a chance to meet so many people who know you from the inside and out.
Totally agree with you. Totally agree with you, Jake.
I definitely, I'm glad. I'm glad. This is why we always get along so good, especially when it comes to these conversations. Now, of course, we talked about it though. You're pretty much a pro fighter, and as a pro, you had to go through a lot of the amateur days. And my question to you is: do you ever kind of look back at your days as an amateur?
Um, Not really. It was fun being amateur. Um, I like competition. The only difference between amateurs and professional boxing is now I get paid more, and I don't have to wear headgear, and the gloves are lighter in the ring. But I feel the same. I train the same. When I go in the ring, I still get excited. It's fun. It's very fun. I love the competition aspect of it. But amateur and pro, for me, the only difference is getting paid and the equipment that we wear.
Exactly, exactly. And of course, what, as a pro, of course, we all have a lot of different fights that we pretty much go through, a lot of fights that we pretty much look back on. So, do you ever have that one opponent that you pretty much look back on that helped you get better and better every single day?
Um, I think every bout that I've ever had, I learned from it.
Yeah.
Um, I've had some good fighters. Some. I remember fighting Michaela Mayer in the amateurs, Tiara Brown in the amateurs. So all these girls that I grew up with and that I competed, now they're out world class fighters. So it's great to have fought them. But I every fight you learn something, especially from those losses. Especially from those losses, you learn from those mistakes. And for me, if I ever lost, the motivation was real. I would go back home and start training on the mistakes that I made.
And of course, I think that's what we all need is to have that one loss where we say, hey, if I learned from this, I learned. It's time for me to move on to get a chance to focus on being better than I was the last fight. And by the way, of course, if you guys want to get a chance to go follow Stephanie, please go follow her at StephHan09 on Instagram. Because one thing I can tell you is get a chance to meet her. I absolutely adore her. I absolutely admire her for what she's doing for the sport. So please go do yourself a favor. Go follow her on Instagram. She deserves so much, especially for what she's done for the sport, for her family, and of course, who she is as a woman of the sport. And it's really inspiring too.
Thank you, Jake. Thank you.
Absolutely. And of course, now we are in the year of 2024, which means that we have so many different, ladies that we want to get a chance to step across the ring from. So, do you ever have any future opponents you would love to get a chance to fight?
So right now my weight class, I fight at 135 and I'm getting ranked in the top 10. So obviously I wouldn't fight whoever has the belts. I really, hopefully this is my year and I'm able to get the opportunity to fight for a world championship. So if that ever happens, then I don't care who it is. I'm not afraid of anybody. There's a lot of great athletes in my weight class. So just the opportunity to get that chance. That's it.
Absolutely. And of course, is that going to be your number one goal in 2024 is to become a world champion?
If it ever happens, if I get the opportunity, hell yes, for sure.
Uh, I really do like that. I really do like that. So, pretty much before we got the interview started, of course, it's a tough question that most fighters say it's a little bit tough, but I think you can handle this question very, very well. So, the question is, at the end of the day, we all want to be recognized for something that we do in sport. Me, I just want to get a chance to shine my light to others that say, hey, women's combat sports is awesome, it's incredible, and of course, to get a chance to have amazing ladies like you to shine a light, share the story, which, by the way, your story is amazing. And I really, really do admire you. But my question to you is what's something you want to be recognized for during a time of fighting?
Well, obviously, I want to be good enough to be a world champion. I want to have that skill and that technique and athleticism to be good enough. But not only that, not only being an athlete, but also who I am as a person. So I'm not a full time. I can't fully train all the time. I make the time. I'm a mother and I'm also a police officer, and those are two things I'm very proud of. So if you feel like for anyone that feels like they can't do anything because they have a job and they're parents and they feel like they can't do it. Whatever you set your mind to, and if you have the time, if you have the mindset, if you're willing to make those sacrifices, then anything's possible.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I think the big question is for everybody wants to know is what is next for you? Well, of course, we pretty much you have a scheduled fight coming up in March. Is that still happening, or what's going on with that?
Yes, so I'm fighting in El Paso, Texas, March 1st at the El Paso County Coliseum, and hopefully after that I get some big opportunities. But hopefully I'm able to win this fight and then go up in the rankings and continue getting opportunities to fight. And in women's boxing, it's really hard to find opponents. But I just hope it goes well March 1st and there's more opportunities the rest of this year.
Best believe that myself and many others are going to be cheering you on coming up on March 1st. Guys, if you want to get a chance to go follow her as far as the details on and get a chance to check out this event. And I think you said where in El Paso, Texas, I believe.
Yes, El Paso, Texas.
All
It's
right.
going to be at the El Paso County Coliseum.
All right, the El Paso County Coliseum. Make sure you guys go follow her and make sure you guys check out all the ticket and information. If you guys want to go get a chance to check her out in person, because I'm gonna tell you, she's a phenomenal fighter, a phenomenal boxer, and of course, I definitely want to get a chance to tell you something. Is that first of all, I'm really really proud of you because it's never easy. It's really difficult for fighters to get a chance to shine their light to where their light needs to be shined. But I think with you and so many women in the boxing fighting right now is that you ladies are just so inspirational because I don't see how you do it as being a cop, as being a mom, and as being a fighter. But I really, really admire everything that you do. And I hope you know that I appreciate everything that you do for the sport because it's never easy. It's never it's never the brightest of moments just to say that, hey, I'm gonna be okay. Just have a few bruises, a few step backs, but all these step backs have prepared you for the comebacks. And of course,
Yes.
now you're back. You get ready to fight on March 1st. I am so honored to see how much you've overcome. And I got to do this because I'm very cheesy. And trust me, I know I'll get at on this, but I'm not worthy. I'm not worthy.
Oh,
I'm
you're
not
very
worthy.
nice. You're too nice. Stop. Very nice guy.
uh, so, do you have any final thoughts or comments you want to get a chance to say?
No, thank you for having me, and I totally agree with you. It's women's fighters. They do sacrifice a lot, and I'm proud to be a part of the sport, and I'm proud to be a woman that fights. And thank you for doing what you're doing and giving us exposure. So thank you.
I'm glad I get a chance to give you all exposure, and of course, not only that, but thank you for giving me the opportunity to get a chance to interview you. I hope you had a very fun time as much as I have. This was such an amazing moment. First interview back on YouTube, it was definitely worth the wait. I mean, we had such a great time. The story was incredible. And what more can you say? I mean, this will definitely be an interview to look back on.
Oh,
Stephanie, once again, thank you so, so much for taking your time. And of course, hopefully, you have an amazing week. Definitely will message you once when I get done here, but I'll let you go. Have a great night, okay?
thank you. Have a nice night.
Have a nice night. Thank you, Stephanie. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was Miss Stephanie Hahn, and that was an incredible moment. That was an incredible interview. Um, what can we say is that she has grown so much from the sport. It's been very amazing. It's been very incredible. And plus, I mean, what can you say? I mean, this has been a very fun experience. But of course, if you guys want to get a chance to check out any more interviews coming up, make sure you guys go follow me at the Fighting Now. And of course, get your merchandise from MMAtees.com. The link will definitely be in our bio on Instagram. And of course, we got so many women, so many incredible women that we get a chance to interview. And you know what? We definitely we'll have some interviews on the Instagram side of things. I know people love that, but of course we got to get back to where we need to be on YouTube side of things. So you can expect us to have an interview for you guys on YouTube later on. Hopefully on Friday, we may do one interview on the Instagram Live and the other one on YouTube. We'll figure that out for sure. But make sure you guys go follow me at the Fighting Now for all the information and all the updates as far as any more interviews that we got coming up for you guys. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that will do it here as far as the interview side of things from live things to the StreamYard Studios. If you guys want to get a chance to make your own podcast interviews, make sure you guys head on over to StreamYard.com and make sure you guys check out the free program that they do here. Of course, it helps me out and helps out other interviews out as well. But ladies and gentlemen, until then, I am Jake, representing the Fighting House, saying so long, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.